It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, and thanks for checking in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. And you're listening to the Working Women Wednesdays feature, our longest running segment that started, back in March of last year. So each and every Wednesday, we highlight two different professional women, sometimes more, sometimes less, just depends on the week, but usually two professional women in the studio from the group each and every Wednesday. And you can help support the Working Women of Tampa Bay by visiting their website. They got a lot of great events to help grow your business, and you can attend any of the events for free, and then you can talk with the CEO and founder, Jessica Ravelli, about how to get better connected within the community. I got a great show planned for you today. On the second part of the show, we'll be talking about the Florida State Fair, which is opening up tomorrow over at the Florida State Fairgrounds. So we'll be talking about that on the last segment of the show. And we got an entertaining performance coming up here in just a little bit. We got the War Virgin in here, Miss Laura Westley. So she's got some song parodies she's going to sing for us, and she's a performer, a West Point graduate, former Army captain. So very entertaining guest here coming up on tap in just a little bit. But up first, got on the phone line, as always, CEO and founder of the Working Women of Tampa Bay Network Group, Jessica Ravelli. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Jamie. How are you?
I'm very good, and I'm very much so looking forward to this show and listening to Laura and her song parodies.
Yeah, Laura's amazing. I just recently got a chance to get to know Laura in the last couple months, and we're going to have the pleasure of having her as our keynote speaker for International Women's Day, which this is our fourth annual one that we've been doing, and it's March 4th, which is a couple Fridays from now at Feather Sound Country Club. And International Women's Day is something that is it's a global movement. They set the theme every year, so this theme is actually called A Pledge to Parity, which basically is for equality, and not just pay equality, but equality when it comes to respect and women on boards and all these things that we think of when we think of women having an equal opportunity, I think is really what their goal is in this particular topic. So we really wanted to hear Laura tell her story about being in the military, being in the Iraq War, and what it was like to be in a male-dominated world for a good chunk of her adult life. So we're really excited to hear her speak.
Yeah, Laura just recently relocated to the area, coming out of Boston, and she immediately hooked up with the Working Women of Tampa Bay group here. But how did you come across Laura? Did she come to you? I mean, how did you make this connection?
Yeah, actually, it was through Lil Barkowski, who I'll have to book. Lil has been with us from the very beginning, so our very first event was November of 2008, and Lil was actually there. Lil is Lil is one of those women that wears multiple hats. She's a website designer. She has a culinary and hospitality background, but she's also a playwright. And I'll have to have her on just to talk about that industry here in Tampa, because there's actually a growing number of women who are involved in playwriting in the Tampa Bay area. So Lil, I believe, is a collaborator with Laura on her play and her musical, and so that's how Laura came to us. Was Lil recommended her, and Lil's a great lady, like I said, who's been a member since, for a good 70 plus years now. So when she came to me with the recommendation to have Laura speak and for me to get to know her better, I was all ears for sure.
Very cool. And this event going on March 4th over at the Feather Sound Country Club. Tickets are still available. I see you also got Rita Lohman, COO of C1 Bank over there. Julie Weintraub, well-known in the area for Gold and Diamond Source, also at the event. Any others that are going to be at the event?
Yeah, so Rita, and then Lorna Taylor, who is the CEO of Premier Eye Care. I specifically chose her to sit on our panel because Lorna's got a great story of actually raising the wages of women within her organization. She did a survey of of what the women were making and actually did a course correction on that. So we really want to hear her talk about how she's been able to help increase the wages among women in her organization. And then Yvonne Fry, who is the chair of the Florida Commission for the Status of Women, who you've had in studio before. She's a woman that wears a lot of hats as well. She's going to be moderating. And then one of my favorite people in the whole world, Lisette Campos, who is someone I worked with when I worked in television for ABC Action News. She's going to be our MC. She has MC'd the last 3 years, and she's really a favorite among our women just because she just is so beautiful and really just a joy to be around, and we're so excited to have her with to MC the event again. So, yeah, all of this is March 4th, Featherstone Country Club, 10:30 to 1. Lovely lunch, fantastic keynote with Laura, great panel, and valet parking, which women love valet parking.
We
So
all
what's
love
better
valet
than that?
parking, I mean, me included. Jessica, as always, thank you so much for supporting the show each and every Working Women Wednesdays.
Hey, Jamie, have a great show. Talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. And again, Jessica Ravelli, CEO and founder of the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. Visit them at workingwomenoftampabay.com. Let's go ahead and bring in my first guest for the program. Laura Westley is a West Point graduate, former U.S. Army captain, and Iraq War veteran. After completing her military service in 2006, Laura worked for nearly a decade specializing in clinical trial technology platforms. Simultaneously, Laura created War Virgin, her platform dedicated to inspiring personal liberation and promoting equality. Laura, welcome to the program today.
Thank you, Jamie.
So you got quite the resume. I didn't want to go through everything there, but I mean, you got a MBA, a background in chemistry, a nuclear engineering. You got quite the platform here.
Thank you.
So, but I mean, the War Virgin, what is this?
So War Virgin, like you said, it's my platform for personal liberation, and it's to inspire equality. I have 3 different components of War Virgin. I've got my book, I've got my musical comedy show, and then I have recently launched a military mental health consultancy where I will work with mental health providers who want to treat veterans but really don't know a lot about the real military culture, and to give them the tools to better equip them to relate to their patients and to do a better job of taking care of them.
Okay, so you come out of the military, you're working in the corporate world, and then you had this calling to be am I safe to say you're a performer with the War Virgin act?
Yep. I wrote War Virgin, and I perform in it, and I sing. I've sung most of my life. I kind of discovered it in middle school, but I really didn't do much with it until I went to West Point. I was actually the president of the West Point Cadet Chapel Choir, both my junior and senior year. So there I was able to discover my singing voice. And then joining the Army, like 9/11 happened right after I graduated from West Point. And so the focus became completely on serving in war, and it's just something that I didn't do anything with it. But when you have some kind of natural gift or natural talent and this need to express it, it's going to pop up somewhere in life. And so back in 2012, when I put my one-woman show together, that's when I was able to really start singing again. But instead of singing other things, it's been an incredible experience to create what I sing.
Okay, so describe the show for me then. You got mixtures of song parodies, some comedy sketches in, but you also kind of work in like it's kind of military mental health consultancy also.
The military mental health stuff is separate from that.
Okay.
So my musical comedy show, it's my story of repression, temptation, and liberation. And that's also what's in the book as well. And I narrate the show. And it starts with my childhood, and it goes all the way until an event that happened about 2 years ago. And I have people that are acting out the various scenes of my life, and I have a drag queen in it too.
How many times have you performed then?
I have performed the one-woman version of my show several times, from the years of 2012 until 2014. And then in 2015, when I teamed up with Lil Barkowski, we produced this musical comedy show, and we performed it 6 times in the Bay Area last year. We did a show in Newport Richie, we did some in St. Pete, in Ybor City, and then the last one was in Dunedin at the Blur.
So you've been singing all your life, doing some comedy sketches. What inspired you to put together a show, though? And what's the length of your show?
It's about 90 minutes long. It's got 2 acts, and it's got the different scenes in it that all go along with the theme of repression, temptation, and liberation. It's all been building on each other. Like I actually started by writing a book. I knew in 2009 that I had to write a book. I had to get my message out there because I feel like the general public is not privy to the knowledge of what really goes on in the military, especially from a woman's perspective. And I feel like the general public needs to know this. I feel that people who are contemplating a career in the military, people who want to go to West Point, they need to know my story because I'm fearless in what I explain happens. And so I started writing this book in 2009, and at first it read like an angry Alanis Morissette rant. And it wasn't really digestible material, but I think it was more like my therapeutic process. And then I started going to therapy, and then that really helped, me to process those events. But simultaneously, I would be telling my stories to friends, and they would be laughing in stitches the way I delivered the content. And so I knew that I needed to somehow come up with a way to write the stories in the way that I was telling them. And so I took a comedy writing class. I started telling comedic stories on stage, and I joined an organization in Boston called Mass Mouth, where they do storytelling competitions. And the co-founder of that, Andrea Lovett, she was key in realizing that this needed to be more than just a series of stories. She's like, you need to create a one-woman show. So she helped me to put that together. I performed it all over Boston and all over Massachusetts at different veteran events. And then I met Lil Barkowski at the end of 2014. I did my one-woman show at her Gypsy Stage theater location in Dunedin. And she's like, we need to do more with this. And she's like, I want to do a play. I want to cast my actors in it. And I thought what she was going to do was take my one-woman show script and then write the play herself because she's a playwright. Well, she made me write the play. So it was really an incredible exercise in challenging myself to do something that I'd never done before. And that's what came of it. And so we identified, because I had written a lot of the book already, we identified what were the most theatrical centric stories to put in the play. And so it was pretty miraculous what we did, because I was still living in Boston, but it's really easy to write a play when you're covered under hundreds of feet of snow in a Boston winter. So that was last Boston's winter for me. And I put the play together. She decided what actors she wanted to cast in it. And we came together at the very last minute and rehearsed it, and then started performing it last April in the Bay Area while I was still living in Boston. But luckily my job, I worked from home, so I was able to be here for a while and put on the show. Very interesting. I got to take a break. Coming back from the break, you got a song parody that you're going to perform for us to Like a Virgin. So we'll let her go and get set up for that. And we're currently in studio here on this Working Woman Wednesdays with Laura Westley, former U.S. Army captain and founder of the War Virgin one-woman show. And you can learn more about this over at warvirgin.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. 4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Right now, our biggest problem is in the Town and Country area. Both directions of Hillsborough Avenue temporarily shut down near Longboat due to a medical chopper landing in the roadway. Also, we've got very slow traffic off the Howard Franklin Bridge. Crash near the entrance ramp from Memorial Highway has one lane blocked there. And also, we've got slow traffic on the Gandy Bridge, typical now this time of the morning into Tampa. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Never thought of yourself as a hero? That's what you'll be for a child in poverty when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. To find out how you can release a child from poverty right now, go to compassion.com/radio.
Partly cloudy, a 10% rain chance, high 80. Tonight, increasing clouds, low 67. Tomorrow, a 70% rain chance, high 75.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the Working Woman Wednesdays feature of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. And in studio here with Laura Westley, former U.S. Army captain and creator of the one-woman show War Virgin. If you visit warvirgin.com, find some more information out on that show. And she's going to perform a song parody, something that she does within her show. It's going to be to the tune of Like a Virgin. So, Laura, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Jamie. This song, I wrote it with Donald Rumsfeld in mind, so I'd like to dedicate it to him. And this gives you an idea of what happened in Iraq. Somehow I made it through. Didn't know how lost I was without a frickin' GPS. I was trained incomplete, and my vest wasn't bulletproof, but you made me feel. Yeah, you made me feel shiny and new. Like a virgin, bombed for the very first time. Like a virgin, when your gun blasts next to mine, gonna give you all my love, Saddam. My fear is feeding fast, been saving it all for you. This only war can last. You're so fine, and you're mine. Make me strong, yeah, you make me bold. But your regime got out. Yeah, your regime got out. They were scared and old. Like a virgin, hey! Bombed for the very first time. Like a virgin, when your gun blasts next to mine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah, you're so fine, and you're mine. I'll be yours till the end of this war, 'cause you made me feel. Yeah, you made me feel I've nothing to hide except weapons of mass destruction. Like a virgin, hey! Bombed for the very first time. Like a virgin. When your gun blasts next to mine, like a virgin. Ooh, ooh, like a virgin. Feels so good inside when you hold me and your heart beats and you love me so dumb. Ooh, saying la 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 la. So that gives you an idea.
This is Charlie, the plumber's dream girl.
Yeah, Charlie. So, I mean, you experienced the Iraq War and the bombing and all this. I mean, you were actually over there.
I was there for the invasion in 2003, although we weren't allowed to call it an invasion. It was a liberation. But I was with the 3rd Infantry Division out of Fort Stewart, Georgia. So I was there on day one driving my Humvee at 2 miles an hour with our headlights on. It certainly didn't feel like we were starting a war, especially when there was a UN soldier at the Kuwait-Iraq border, and there was a nice cardboard sign that said, "Welcome to Iraq." And he's like, "You will drive through lane 5. It was actually a lot easier than driving on the Jersey Turnpike and merging onto the George Washington Bridge to cross over into New York. So it was really surreal, but there was no bulletproof vest. Like up until 24 hours before my deployment, I had this Vietnam era flak vest, and they were going to send me over to the war with that. And I, insisted on having a better vest. And they're like, "I'm sorry, but we only have a certain number of vests, and we need to give these to the guys."
Wow. So you were an Army captain in obviously a male-dominated environment. Mm-hmm. How did you handle this? Did you use humor and entertainment to kind of get through the experience?
Absolutely. Humor is such an incredible coping mechanism. Humor, sarcasm, that's the language of the military. So that's what I used to cope with it. When I deployed, I was actually a lieutenant. I was 24 years old. I still had a few years left on my military career after the war. So I was a young lieutenant. I was 24. I was naive. I was still a virgin.
So, and also at West Point, though, isn't that pretty much like all male class?
Yep.
How many women were in your class?
I don't know the exact, I'll have to look up the exact statistic, but we graduated with 901 people in my class, and I know that there were a little bit over 100 women.
Wow.
So there's like that 9-to-1 male to female ratio.
And even as a captain, did you get a lot of pushback when you had to order the men to do the different things, or how was the respect at that level?
It definitely depends. It's definitely individual specific. I was fortunate to work with some incredible people who took really good care of me. One of the interesting dynamics about the military is that oftentimes you don't know what you're doing because they like to place officers in positions where they're new. They constantly change your jobs around, and you're supposed to be responsible and give out the orders for people that are much older than you. Yes, you might outrank them, but they have so much more wisdom and experience. And the way that I approach that is I would go up to these senior people, just about all of them were men, and I would say, "Look, I know I'm young, I'm dumb, I'm naive, I'm just a lieutenant or I'm just a captain. I've only been at this for a few years. Please help me and teach me what I need to do to succeed. I'll take good care of you." And they had my back, and that's how we got stuff done.
Oh, good story. I got to take another quick bottom of the hour break, but we got a lot more coming from Laura Westley, including another song parody we'll put up there here coming back from the break. And again, she's a former U.S. Army captain and Iraq War veteran and creator of the One Woman show, The War Virgin. Make love at war is her tagline to that. I'll ask you about that when we come back from the break, too. Visit warvirgin.com for more information on that. You're listening to the Working Women Wednesday show of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products: hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tile, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Well, some good news if you're sitting on Hillsborough Avenue in the town and country area. Traffic should start moving again. The road was temporarily shut down for a medical chopper. It has since left, so again, traffic should be getting back to normal through there. Northbound 275, very heavy off the Howard Franklin Bridge. Also in Manatee County, southbound 75, very slow from before State Road 64 to University Parkway due to a crash blocking a lane. See traffic problems? Call the entry firm of Abrahamson Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Massage Envy Spa. Here's a special Valentine's Day gift offer for Massage Envy. Right now, buy $100 in gift cards and get a free gift, the 5-piece wish set, available only at any of the Tampa Bay area Massage Envy locations, because everyone loves Massage Envy.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Could expect to see some of that morning dense fog once again. Cloudy skies developing with a late day rain chance, 30%. Those will kick up in the mid to late afternoon. Mid upper 70s for the high today. Tonight's low mid 60s. Low 70s tomorrow, cloudy and rainy, and then we'll see a cool day Friday. Sunshine, windy, low 60s. Impact Radio 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the program, everybody. You're listening to the Working Woman Wednesdays feature of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. And this feature each and every Wednesday brought to us by the great networking group, Working Women of Tampa Bay. And you can visit their website, workingwomenoftampabay.com. A lot of great events, usually 3 or 4 different things go on each and every week all across the Tampa Bay region. So visit that. It's an excellent way to grow your business and meet many great professionals here in the Tampa Bay region. Also, please help support the show. TampaBayRadio.com is the show's website. All shows available on demand over there. And you can also check out all the local real estate listings, as my job is selling real estate each and every day after I do the radio show. So if I can help you buying or selling real estate in the Tampa Bay region, please reach out to me. Best way to get me is through the contact form on the website. And also, please help grow all my social media sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show. Put a lot of updates on there, upcoming guests, and all the audios and videos and a lot more over there. That's the Facebook fan page. And also, please follow me on Twitter, Jamie_Maloney. In studio with Laura Westley, former U.S. Army captain and creator of the one-woman show War Virgin. And you can learn more about this over at warvirgin.com. And Laura, you got another song parody here. Tell us about this one.
This is called Baghdad, and it's to the likes of Alicia Keys' Empire State of Mind when she sings about New York.
All right, let's hear it.
Driving to a town that is famous as a place of dictatorship. Noise is always loud, there are sirens all around, and the streets are mean. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere, that's what they say. Seeing rocket lights and looting in the streets without Saddam. Even if it ain't all it seems, I got a pocket full of please. Baby, I'm in Baghdad. Desert jungle where dreams are squandered. There's nothing you can't do, 'cause you're in Baghdad. These streets will make you feel brand new. Big bombs won't frighten you, 'cause you're in Baghdad, Baghdad, Baghdad.
Very interesting.
Like a Disney princess with a machine gun.
So what are you doing to grow your show here? Did you say you had an agent working to bring this into different areas? How are you growing a show?
There's 3 different things. So I'm working on the book, I'm working on the show, and I'm working on the military mental health consultancy. So as far as the book goes, I am working with an incredible agent named Paula Broadwell. She is a New York Times bestselling author, and she's a fellow West Point women graduate. And she is the co-founder and co-director of Think Broader. And in essence, I consider it like a women's empowerment organization. And her company's mission is to promote the accurate and dignified depiction of women in film, news, and social media. And she works on combating a gender bias in the media and also empowering women. And she's serving as an agent for other burgeoning authors. And she's laid out an incredible plan. So she's actually pitching the book right now to publishers. So if you are one of the editors or publishers that have my manuscript in hand, accept it, because you're going to go on an incredible journey.
And I take it the book is just entitled War Virgin too?
It's also titled War Virgin. It's the similar story of repression, temptation, and liberation. Obviously, a book gets to go into so much more depth than a show. The show is very deep. You know, you run the range of emotions when you watch the show, but the book is.
Does the book mirror the show a little bit?
It does,
similar material.
The show was derived from the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And now the show itself, where is this? Let me ask you this: do you have a performance coming up right now, or
I don't have a performance coming up right now. I do have one for my West Point 15-year reunion this October. So on October 14th, we will be taking our troupe and performing up at West Point. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to schedule a show here in the Bay Area before we do that. I'm looking to perform around Saturday, September 17th. I think that would be an ideal date to have a send-off show. And what I'm hoping to do in conjunction with the New York trip is to actually go on a tour. And Lil Barkowski, she is my show director. She's my co-producer. And we are working on a plan to take this on the road. We'd love to go internationally. I want to go on a USO tour. And
you do this for 90 minutes, and you say it's a one-woman. Do you have any other?
No, this is the musical comedy show where there's other actors in it, and we also have a drag queen.
Oh, okay, got you there. So.
And I also want to put in a little plug for Lil. She does web development work. She's actually working on updating my website right as we speak. So if anybody out there in the Bay Area needs any kind of web development work, please contact her at lil@virtualcreatives.com or 727-348-6682.
Okay. And so how does your mental health consultancy business all then tie into this?
So one of the things that when you get to read my book, you'll get to glean all of the therapy and how it really helped to heal me. And I went through about 5 years of intensely focused therapy with an incredible therapist named Jack Full in Newton, Massachusetts. And one of the things that I came to realize in Boston was that other psychologists had reached out to me to learn more about the military. And because I had been so accustomed to speaking to my therapist, like I know the therapy speak, I'm able to speak about my experiences through a therapeutic lens. And I want to now take all of the wonderful things and healing that I gleaned from Jack, and then the experiences that I had speaking to these psychologists who really wanted to know more about the military so they can better treat veteran patients, and I'm launching this consultancy. So I am going to offer many different services. If you're a mental health provider in the Bay Area and you want to schedule a one-on-one session, if you want to learn more about military culture from a very personal perspective, then definitely reach out to me. I also want to do some kind of makeover to make sure that they are presenting themselves in the best way possible for the veterans to respect them.
So many veterans have come back from the wars suffering from PTSD. Do you suffer from any effects of PTSD yourself?
I have definitely had my share of depression, anxiety, PTSD.
Because I was going to ask you if you've used humor to battle back against PTSD.
Absolutely.
And so part of your business, when you consult, is dealing with it through the use of humor. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Absolutely. And so by being able to share my War Virgin stories too, that's the best example to show how a veteran is using humor and artistic expression to connect with people, to bridge that gap between the military culture and civilians, and to help them understand. Because when people care about my story and they want to hear, and what you're doing for me, you're validating me, you're making me feel appreciated, and that is so significant to my mental health.
Yeah, and humor and laughter is a great remedy to so many mental health conditions, and even just general sadness. If you go in front of a mirror, I tell people when they're feeling sad, force yourself to laugh. You'd be surprised at the chemical reactions that begin to take over your body, and you do start to feel better, even if you're just forcing yourself to laugh. So it's a technique that I use too.
Absolutely, yeah. So I want to do whatever I can to help the veterans, and that's by working with their providers here. And I'm actually teaming up with my closest high school friend. Her name is Christina Mantilla, and she's a licensed mental health counselor in Newport Richey, and she's in private practice. And we are going to be working together to do training programs, both online and in-person seminars and workshops, and we will be issuing continuing education credits. So if you're a mental health provider and you need your continuing education credits, we're going to do something really unique and entertaining and also really effective and under the guidelines of what the board requires, since she actually is a licensed provider.
Well, I've got to hit the break here, but congratulations on all your success and also for the service to our country. And so the next show that comes up, make sure I'm on the invite list. I definitely want to check this out.
Thank you so much, Jamie.
Absolutely. Laura Westley, former U.S. Army captain and Iraq War veteran and creator of the one-woman show War Virgin. Learn more at warvirgin.com. Stay tuned. Coming back from the break, I'm going to talk with Laurie Hayes, marketing and communications manager for the upcoming Florida State Fair, which starts tomorrow over at the Florida State Fairgrounds. You're currently listening to the Working Women Wednesdays feature of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. 4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank. And that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. The good news is 275 isn't backed up from the Howard Franklin Bridge to Himes. That's due to a crash in the left-hand lane near Memorial Highway. So you still got big backups on the Howard Franklin Bridge, but once you get past West Shore Plaza, you're in pretty good shape all the way into downtown Tampa. Southbound Veterans Expressway, it's slow from Ehrlich to around Water. Southbound Dale Mabry crash at Lineball blocking a lane, and southbound 275 jam from Beers to Sly. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Fit Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Sweet Tomatoes. If you love made-from-scratch cream of mushroom soup cooked up with locally sourced mushrooms and dairy-fresh cream, you have only 1 week to enjoy it at Sweet Tomatoes. Cream of mushroom soup. This week only at Sweet Tomatoes. Discover fresh.
Partly cloudy, a 10% rain chance, high 80. Tonight, increasing clouds, low 67. Tomorrow, a 70% rain chance, high 75.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the program, everybody. You're listening to the Working Women Wednesdays feature of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. This weekly feature brought to us by the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. Please help support them and visit WorkingWomenOfTampaBay.com. They got a lot of great events going on each and every week all across the Tampa Bay region. And also, please help support the show. Visit TampaBayRadio.com. Over there, all shows available on demand. And you can also check out our extensive guest network of past guests. We got everybody and anybody who's ever been in this studio linked up there on the site, and you can click on their show cards, see their interviews, and also we do a daily recap of all the programs. And so a lot of great information over there. You can consider it a resource for finding different service providers in the Tampa Bay region now as well. Time to bring on my next guest for the program. Laurie Hayes is the Marketing and Communications Manager for the Florida State Fair. The 112th Florida State Fair is scheduled for February 4th to the 15th at the Florida State Fairgrounds located at I-4 and U.S. Highway 301 in Tampa. Laurie, welcome to the program this year. Or welcome to the show today, I should say. I'm
Thank you. Good
crossing
morning.
my lines there. So you're the Marketing and Communications Manager.
Did you dot your T's?
What's that?
Did you dot your T's?
Dot my T's and cross my I's. So tell us about the Florida State Fair this year. What's the theme?
The theme is more to explore, and we're inviting people to come back and to see all the things that they've loved for the past however many years that they've been coming, but also to find something new, to find a new exhibit, to find a new food, and we have plenty of new foods. To find a new ride, just something there that they haven't seen before.
Okay, so much more to explore. What are we going to be seeing this year that maybe we haven't seen in the past?
Probably the thing that's most exciting is we have a White House experience, and we have a whole exhibit that includes both genuine artifacts from White Houses from the Kennedy era through now, as well as replicas of some of the different rooms in the White House. You can actually take a picture of yourself standing behind the podium in the briefing room. You can, peek into the Oval Office and take your picture. So it's educational as well as, just a fun thing. And particularly in an election year, we thought it would really
Right.
resonate with people.
Okay, so this launches tomorrow. What are the hours? Are there different hours for the weekends versus the days? How does this work?
The gates open at 10 o'clock tomorrow, and we are fingers crossed for nice weather, although it doesn't sound that way, but fingers crossed. And the gates open then on the weekdays at 10 a.m. And on the weekends at 9 a.m. So, and it goes through, the various buildings have different hours, but the Midway stays open until, the people stop wanting to ride.
Now, the state fair, tell me how this works. Does it travel around the state and go to different areas throughout the year, and it comes into Tampa Bay at this time of the year? How does it work?
I mean, different vendors and the rides travel around, but the Florida State Fair, it's actually the first fair of the year in the country. So all of the new stuff, all of the new rides, all of the crazy new food, we debut it. And it happens once a year in February. And again, we are the first to get all this stuff.
And you're recently relocated to this area, so this is a new experience, new opportunity for you as well. Where did you relocate out of?
I moved down here from Maryland.
Maryland, okay.
So this will be my first fair.
And I don't know if you know too much about the history of the Tampa Bay region, but Florida, Gibsonton area is very well known for the carny folk, and there's a lot of carnival history associated with the fairs in this region. So I don't know. I didn't want to put you on the spot because I know that there's a lot of history behind that, and you're new in the area. But I mean, this area is just a bastion of carnival history, especially down 41 there in Gibsonton.
Mm-hmm.
If during the winter season, if you drive down what is the Gibsonton Drive, you can see like a Ferris wheel on the side of the road for sale, a hot dog stand, a tilt-a-whirl, and with a price on them, and it's kind of entertaining. And so I didn't know if you were familiar with the history here. But
actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a documentary that runs every now and then on the History Channel or A&E or one of those channels that talks about it. The lobster boy lives in this area. The guy with the lobster claws for hands.
Okay.
He was an attraction at many different carnival events. The Giants Camp used to be a restaurant down there in Gibsonton. It was owned by an 8-foot tall guy who married a 3-foot tall woman. And that restaurant used to be located next to Cargill, where I used to work over there in Riverview. And had a few lunches over there. They subsequently tore that thing down, but it had like 50 years of history behind it. It was called Giants Camp, right there as you enter Gibsonton, coming out of Riverview. But a lot of different stories. I forget some of the other characters, but a lot of them are based here in Gibsonton.
I'm actually good friends with Kayla the Ape Girl.
Oh yeah,
yeah, former carny.
Yeah. So, and there's even like a whole carny language if you get into it and stuff. Yeah. So, there's a lot of history behind carnivals and fairs in this region. Yeah. So, if you need to pick up a spare Ferris wheel, just head over there to Gibsonton.
I'll keep that in mind.
they put them out there in the off season in the winter. Talk to me about the economic impact on the Tampa region or the fair. What impact does it have on our region?
Well, the state fair is an instrumentality of the state, but it doesn't get any money from the state nor from the county. So we generate our revenue through the fair and through the other things that happen at the fairgrounds throughout the year. But as far as the economic impact, both for the county and for the state, I mean, we bring in, we had a study done about 10 years ago. And for the county itself, we bring in over 1,000 jobs through the state fair and, generate about $150 million in sales. But our economic impact kind of has a ripple effect because obviously people are coming to the fair. We tend to have about 500,000 people come throughout the 12 days, and almost half of them, stay the night or stay more than one night. The exhibitors too, I mean, some of them are there for all 12 days of the fair, so obviously they're staying somewhere, they're eating somewhere. So we really are a very, driving force to the economy, both of Tampa and the state.
Now, discounted tickets are currently available. How does this work, and where can people pick up tickets?
Okay, this is the last day for discount tickets because we open the gates tomorrow. You can get them at any Walgreens in the state, and also go to our website, which is www.floridastatefair.com, and there are links there to get the discounted tickets. And then beginning tomorrow, check back on the website because we also have promotions going on throughout the fair, including tomorrow is Heroes Day, Salute to Heroes Day, which is sponsored by Lazy Boy RV. And all first responders, all military veterans, we just had our War Virgin on. She could get in for free, as well as law enforcement and firefighters. All of those individuals can get in for free. And then, throughout the fair, there's the county school districts get free tickets so they can come and bring their families. There's, some buy one, get one frees with the armbands. So there's a lot of things going on. Just look at the website.
How do the tickets work? Can you buy a pass throughout the entire event? I mean, this is going on from tomorrow through the 15th, or do you have to buy a different pass for each day?
It's a different pass for each day. And then the ride tickets too. You can get an armband that you can ride rides all day if you want.
And you can also buy tickets at any Walgreens through today. So today's the last day. What's the discount on the tickets? How much?
The tickets are normally $13 or $11 depending on the weekend or weekday. They're $9 at Walgreens.
Okay.
And there's also a discount on the armbands.
Okay. What are some of the events that are coming up at the Florida State Fair this year?
So we have, besides the fair, which we're all about right now, there's always something agricultural related or equestrian related going on.
Now, the Heroes Day kicks this off tomorrow. Explain
Yes.
that. So this is a day dedicated to our military service men and women, then, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And again, it's sponsored by Lazy Day, and all of those individuals get into the fair for free.
Okay, and I see you got the Leroy Van Dyke Country Gold Tour that's going on Tuesday, February 9th at 2 p.m. So just one of the many events that are going on throughout the week. So tell me, how did you get connected with the Florida State Fair here in the area?
I had been doing marketing for years, and as you mentioned, I was relatively new to the area, and there's a lot of marketing work that goes into the fair. I have not even been there a month yet, and it's been incredible to see. I've gone to state fairs before. You kind of walk in and you never think about, the months and months of preparation that goes into getting ready for that kind of an event.
Right, and it's just this goes on through the 15th. What happens after the 15th? What do you do after that? Is there other fairs that are going to be going on in the area?
The people who are at the state fair will move on and go to, assorted county fairs and state fairs throughout the country. As far as the state fairgrounds, we will continue to sponsor the equestrian events, the cheerleading competitions, all of those things. And we have some of those things going on too that are open to the public. We have the State Robotics Championship is going on during the state fair. So middle, high school, and college kids are bringing their robots, and spectators are allowed to go in and, kind of see what all is entailed in that. Some of the other fun things, there's a butterfly exhibit. We're going to have 250 butterflies in an enclosure, and people actually will get nectar and they can feed them. All sorts of things are going on.
Well, very cool. And this opens tomorrow. Discounted tickets are still available. People can head over to the website, which is floridastatefair.com. And you can also pick up the tickets over at Walgreens. And tomorrow, again, the Salute to Heroes Day, correct?
Yes.
So all of the military men and women get in for you. Am I correct again?
You are correct, yes.
All right. Hopefully we can drive some people over to the event. An excellent way to get out with the family. And Laurie, thank you so much for what you're doing to make Tampa a better place. And welcome to Tampa Bay.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And that was Laurie Hayes, Marketing and Communications Manager for the State Fair, again, which starts tomorrow over at the State Fairgrounds, which is located right next to the Hard Rock Casino and just off of I-4 and 301. And visit floridastatefair.com for more information. Also got to thank Laura Westley, former U.S. Army captain and Iraq War veteran, who was on the first segment of the show. A very entertaining segment. Visit warvirgin.com for more information on her show, and you can subscribe to her newsletter over there as well. And also, I want to thank Jessica Ravelli for the support of the show. She's an amazing show supporter and has an amazing networking group of professional women in the Tampa Bay region. Visit workingwomenoftampabay.com for more information and check out all of their many events that go on each and every week in the Tampa Bay region. And please help support the show each and every day. Visit tampabayradio.com for more information. All shows available on demand. And please connect with me, facebook.com/That Business Show, Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.